Good Monday morning, everybody. I'm Dave Furtado.
And I'm meteorologist Jefferson Donovan.
And welcome to Keep Her Quick, your latest local news and weather commercial free in about 20 minutes or less. We're going to jump right over to weather because, Jefferson, there's a whole lot to write home about today.
Yeah, there's a lot of active weather on the way for today. A very active week of weather coming our way, too. A lot to monitor as we head throughout this week. Starting off with today, specifically for today, there's going to be strong wind across our forecast area, especially in the Columbia Basin and Blue Mountain foothills areas, where we could be looking at winds today gusting upwards of potentially 45 to maybe even 55 miles per hour. Now, rain chances are going to exist from today through Thursday. I should say the wind problem is really focused on today. Now, the rain chances, what I'm trying to highlight, are going to exist from today through Thursday. And there is going to be some potential flooding of area rivers, especially because of the amount of rainfall the Cascades could be looking at as we head throughout this week. We'll talk more about all three of these weather headlines coming up.
Thanks, Jefferson. We begin this morning in Wapato. 2 men are dead after a vehicle was struck by a train on Saturday. According to State Patrol, the car failed to stop at a railroad crossing near the North Wapato Avenue and Donald Road and was hit by a BNSF train. Both the driver and passenger, ages 29 and 32, were pronounced dead at the scene, and their identities have not yet been released. Investigators say the cause of the crash is still under investigation. In Yakima County, deputies along with fire crews raced to the 6,000 block of Atanum Road early Saturday morning for a car that crashed into a home and was on fire. According to the sheriff's office, the car drove into a bedroom just before 2 a.m. and caught fire as the driver was still inside, but officials say he was able to make it out. Arriving first responders got the home, all of the home's residents out, and medics looked at them, but no injuries were reported there. The driver, though, was arrested for suspected DUI and received medical treatment at a local hospital. As for the fire, it had spread to the home before being put out. The home is now uninhabitable, and the Red Cross is helping those residents out. Benson County deputies say a 2-day search for wanted suspects ended yesterday with an arrest after a foot chase and a multi-agency effort. On Saturday, deputies tracked down a 35-year-old woman near Benton City and took her into custody, but the second suspect, a 35-year-old man, initially got away. During a follow-up, deputies found a stolen moped at the original location and learned the man had ridden it to a home in Richland. With the help from Richland police, deputies found the suspect hiding in a basement and arrested him on outstanding warrants. Additional charges linked to the stolen property are now being considered. A local football coach and his wife are being recognized for stepping in to stop an assault at the Columbia Center Mall over the weekend. Kennewick police say Brett Hall, seen in this picture, as well as his wife Evan, helped restrain a man who was attacking a kiosk employee. Officers say the suspect had been yelling racial slurs and assaulted the worker, and when the man tried to attack again, Brett intervened and was also attacked, but managed to take the man to the ground and hold him there with the help of his wife until officers arrived. Police later arrested the suspect on multiple assault charges. However, during the chaos, a woman also stole Brett's Christmas gifts and took off, prompting authorities to reward them for their actions with $100 gift cards through the Positive Policing program. Investigators are reviewing surveillance video and asking anyone with information to come forward. A Benson County judge is allowing another expert to weigh in before deciding whether a man found not guilty of murder by reason of insanity should be allowed supervised visits in the community. Aaron Kelly has been held at the state's Maple Lane facility in Centralia since 2022. That was when the killing of Justin Crumbaugh and the shooting at the Richland Fred Meyer happened, which also injured another person. Kelly is asking for staff-escorted trips to Centralia and more freedom inside the facility. State psychologists say he's ready, though Benton County Prosecutor Eric Eisinger, as well as members of the local community, disagree, citing safety concerns. Legal experts we spoke to say these matters aren't decided lightly.
Because of those natural skepticism, we typically restrict this entire, even the possibility of getting to this point so far off. And again, this is not something where they're going to be released back into society, next year or maybe even ever. It could be that they're never going to get there. But it's a long road, and even just talking about this for any case is extremely rare.
Now, a judge ruled Monday that another psychologist can review the case and granted prosecutors 30 more days to complete interviews. On to some road work news this morning. In Franklin County, leaders along with state lawmakers are taking action to try to prevent more deadly crashes on Highway 395 north of Pasco. Over the last 5 years, 10 people have died at Highway 395 intersections. And just last week, a Colotis city councilman died in a crash at the intersection. Franklin County leaders have called for speed reductions on the highway to 45 miles an hour, down from 70 in some areas. Now, a public discussion to find possible solutions is now scheduled for next week. County commissioners, local state lawmakers, and law enforcement will all be at the Hapo Center this Wednesday, December 10th at 10 in the morning. The public is encouraged to attend and provide input. Meanwhile, the South George Washington Way Improvements Project is entering its final stages, but that comes with some more traffic impacts for commuters. Crews will now finish the final striping and pavement markings at the George Washington Way and Columbia Point Drive intersection. This will start tomorrow and last until the 14th. Now, Columbia Point Drive will be closed at George Washington Way while crews continue their work, and a detour route will be in place at Comstock Street and Bradley Boulevard. Commuters should also expect periodic lane closures on George Washington Way as well, and drivers are asked to slow down as the project wraps up. Meanwhile, drivers near Cle Elum should prepare for traffic slowdown starting today as crews begin replacing the Bullfrog Road overpass above Interstate 90. The State Department of Transportation says there will be single lane and shoulder closures on westbound I-90 throughout the rest of the week. The full closure of the westbound lanes is planned for mid-December so crews can install new bridge girders, weather permitting, of course. Now, the project is expected to be finished by mid-January. The bridge was severely damaged by a semi-truck in October, and repairs are estimated to cost about $8 million. On to some education news this morning. Moses Lake teachers will return to classrooms today after the school district and the teachers union reached a tentative agreement, ending a full work week long strike that began December 1st. The Moses Lake School District and the Moses Lake Education Association say they're satisfied with the outcome, but the deal isn't final yet. The agreement must still be approved by union members and the district's school board. No contract details have been released so far, though classes are scheduled to resume today. And the district officials say any school days lost to the strike will be made up at the end of the school year. Leaders on both sides thank students, parents, and the community for their patience. The annual Parent Advisory Committee Conference brought together Pasco School District families to strengthen outreach to the Spanish-speaking community. The committee is made up of parent leaders working to ensure Spanish-speaking families can stay involved in their children's education despite language barriers.
And basically we try to the parents to understand all the process from kinder to university.
Now, the event featured workshops on topics ranging from at-home reading strategies to understanding school report cards. Now, the conference was highlighted by a keynote address from Washington State's Teacher of the Year.
If you are someone, who predominantly speaks English, some of the things that you can do to help support and to make sure that we're a more inclusive community and that we're able to support all of our community members is really to reach out to your school. What are the things that you can do to provide support? Talk to their school, talk to their administration, and ask, is this opportunity being offered to all of our community members, or is this, what are the barriers preventing from everyone to be able to access that resource? What is the school doing to ensure that everyone is able to access the information and make use of that information? So advocacy.
Now, if you missed the event, the committee holds 3 bilingual conferences each year, with the next one scheduled for April. More information on how to attend can be found up on our website, KEPRtv.com. And finally, 6 Kennewick schools are rolling out a new bicycle education program thanks to a $50,000 grant from the Washington State Department of Transportation. The program teaches students essential cycling and pedestrian safety skills through multiple structured lessons that school leaders tell us are designed to build confidence and keep students safe while encouraging healthier, more active lifestyles.
I actually did not know any of the hand signals until she taught them to us, and all of her experience helping us ride the bikes is just so fun.
We've had a couple of kids that have had accidents, pretty severe accidents recently on bikes, and so when we were thinking about getting the grant to do this, we were like, we really, really, really need this in the community.
3rd through 5th graders at Cascade, Eastgate, Washington, Sunset View, Canyon View, and Mid-Columbia Partnership are participating in the program. And with that, let's jump right over to meteorologist Jefferson Donovan to talk the weather for today. It's going to be a bit of a wet week, so it may not be a lot of days conducive to get out and get on that bike.
That's right. I would say that this is maybe not the best week to get outside. We're going to see the rainfall roll in today, some strong wind today too, and we're just going to face active weather as we go throughout the forecast period. Let's just take a look at the satellite picture. This is quite extraordinary. We have what is called an atmospheric river that is pointed at the Pacific Northwest, and this extends far off the screen. In fact, this is about 6,500 miles long. Now, this is pointed at the Pacific Northwest. It's going to meander back and forth along the coast of Washington and Oregon, bringing plenty of rainfall to the general region. Now, even our forecast area is going to face some precipitation in the coming days, and we'll talk about that as we go later into this weather segment. First, though, let's talk about what you can expect for today. Again, we're going to see rainfall really roll in today. High temperatures are going to be quite warm, upper 50s to low 60s in the Tri-Cities for daytime highs today. Look for low 60s for Sunnyside and Grandview this afternoon. Upper 40s to low 50s, a bit cooler for Yakima. Mid to upper 40s today in the Kittitas Valley and Ellensburg, with upper 50s close to 60 degrees for the Blue Mountain foothills. Now, another factor we are going to watch today besides the rain and the warm temperatures will be some strong winds. Check this out. In the Tri-Cities today, we could see winds gusting as high as 45 miles per hour. 45 mile per hour gusts today coming for Walla Walla too, with gusts as high as 50 miles per hour this afternoon in Pendleton. As we go into the overnight hours, we're going to see winds increase for many of us. We could see gusts as high as 55 miles per hour overnight tonight in the Tri-Cities. Gusts as high as 35 miles per hour in Yakima. Gusts up to 50 miles per hour overnight tonight for both Walla Walla and Pendleton, with gusts as high as 40 miles per hour overnight tonight in Ellensburg. So just be mindful of some of these very strong winds we have coming our way. In fact, we have wind advisories in place for much of our forecast area. Winds again gusting as high as 55 miles per hour in spots. I'm not too concerned about much of the Yakima Valley, but it could get pretty blustery, especially this evening. Again, just keep in mind, strong winds are going to kick up this afternoon and potentially get even stronger as we go through this evening. Now let's jump into the precipitation side of this story as we go into this afternoon. Widespread shower activity across our general forecast area with very heavy rainfall along and west of the Cascades. As we go into Tuesday, there is still going to be a fair amount of precipitation in our forecast area with very heavy rainfall along and west of the Cascades, primarily in Oregon on Tuesday. As we go into Wednesday, this atmospheric river is going to bounce back to the north. Now, it is on Wednesday when we could see a bit of a break for our region. Still some showers are going to be around, I believe. But again, Wednesday is going to be a bit of a break day, although areas along and west of the Cascades are still going to be getting very soggy on Wednesday. And then as we go into Thursday, this atmospheric river is going to start to sag back down to the south, and that potentially could bring more rainfall to our viewing area. So let's just talk about rain amounts. This map only goes out through Wednesday. I would say for most of us through Wednesday, 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch of rainfall seems appropriate. But what I really want to draw attention to is the mountains. We could be picking up nearly 10 inches of rainfall through Wednesday, with more rain to come as we go into Thursday and Friday. In fact, the Cascades could potentially in spots pick upwards of a foot of rainfall just this week. That is going to lead to strain on area rivers. In fact, we do have flood watches in place for the Kittitas County and Yakima County, I should say, from 7 a.m. this morning until 7 a.m. Friday because of all of that rainfall that is going to be falling in the Cascades. Now, there's a couple of problems with this storm system. Number one, the very heavy rainfall that I just mentioned, but two, the fact that it is going to be rainfall. Snow levels are going to be so high, up over 8,000 feet. We're going to be melting the snow that we already have, and we really need to start building up that snowpack. So in general, even though we do need the water, this is not the type of system that we would like to see come to our region. Of course, we could see rivers go into flood warnings in the next couple of days, and if that happens, we are going to update you on those. But for now, please stay dry and also stay safe with some of that strong wind today. I'm going to toss it back over to Dave.
Thanks, Jefferson. The holiday spirit was in full swing across the region over the weekend. While many folks turned out for the well-renowned Sunnyside Lighted Parade, KIMA's Aiden Connor took a trip to the 26th annual Yakima Lighted Parade, as many local businesses and organizations put on quite the show for the community. Take a look.
Valley for the Yakima Lighted Holiday Parade, with vehicles decked out in Christmas lights in many different variations.
I love it. It's spectacular. absolutely stunning. And it's just a miracle what they've done with these vehicles to dress them up.
For some, it was their first ever parade.
This is my first time, actually.
Really?
Yeah, and it's just really nice seeing the kids like getting involved and throwing candy and then picking it up, and it's just, every float is just more incredible than the next.
For some newcomers, the lighted parade is a huge stepping stone.
It's actually going to be the first one. I'm in recovery, and I've been sober 6 months tomorrow, and I got my family here, and yeah, it's going to be a wonderful night.
One thing is for certain at the Yakima Lighted Parade: you never know what to expect to see heading down Yakima Avenue.
You know, I really didn't know, but I didn't expect all the local businesses to come and, advertise and stuff like that. So it's really cool how everybody's jumping in. Kind of like my favorite one so far was the sheriff's department and all their huge vehicles. Like, that was really cool to see, actually.
The Yakima Valley has many Christmas events to offer throughout the holiday season, with the lighted parade bringing one of the more significant crowds.
For me, it's a blast every year, usually. So yeah, this is really great, and everybody turned out, and it's just a lot of fun.
The lighting of the downtown Christmas tree capped off the event, with former Junior MasterChef contestant Asher Niles as the special guest. With Christmas Day under 3 weeks away, the Christmas season in Yakima is in full swing, and the Yakima Lighted Parade gave local families a little bit of Christmas cheer with a side of quality family time. Reporting for Action News, I'm Aiden Connor.
Aiden Connor, thank you. And the holiday is a time of joy, reflection, and connection. At Enian's funeral homes, families gathered Saturday to honor loved ones through the annual Tree of Remembrance ceremony. Now, the memorial tradition allows community members to decorate the tree with ornaments in memory of those who have passed, offering a moment of comfort and healing during the holidays. Organizers say the Trees of Remembrance are meant to bring peace, hope, and a sense of connection to families for years to come.
We invite any and all families this past year or prior years to come out and make an ornament for their loved one. They can place their name on it and hang it on our Tree of Remembrance that will stay in our event center until the end of January-ish time frame. And they can also make an ornament and take it home with them if they wish to place it on their own tree at home. The ornaments are made out of seed paper, and so after the holiday season is over, they can plant it in their garden at home, and it will have wildflowers that sprout from the paper.
Now, this year marks the first time the ceremony is also being held at Enian's locations in Kennewick and Pasco, expanding the tradition across the Tri-Cities. More information on visiting the trees or creating an ornament can be found up on our website. And the Benton Franklin Humane Society is looking for someone to sponsor their new vehicle. Take a look at this. BFHS posted these pictures on their Facebook page saying someone recently donated a car for them to use for shelter tasks, but before they can take it out on the road, they want to professionally wrap it. But they need sponsors to help pay for the new graphics. The sponsors will also have their business logo featured on the new car, which will travel around the Tri-Cities for events, vet appointments, adoption days, and more. If you're interested in sponsoring the vehicle, you can email them shoot them an email at the email address on your screen. Action News viewers are invited to join former quarterback Craig Kupp for a conversation and a glass of wine in the latest episode of Wine Time Yakima. Sports anchor Austin Pepper sits down with Kupp as he reflects on his football career, his induction into the Pacific Lutheran Hall of Fame, and what it's like watching his son Cooper play for the Seattle Seahawks.
It's really a dream come true for Karen and I to have Coop and his family, his wife and his family. They've got 3 boys, close and here where we can go visit and spend more time with them, and then game days are a lot simpler. Just head on over.
Wine Time Yakima with Craig Kupp is live up on our YouTube channel right now, and while new episodes are available every Saturday at 7 p.m., all the past episodes in the series are available at any time. Meanwhile, a brand new episode of Roots of the Valley premiered Sunday, taking a look at the family history of a former mayor. This week's guest is Doug McNeil, who sat down with John Franklin to talk about his family's lasting impact on the community. McNeil's grandparents arrived in the area more than 125 years ago, starting a local creamery and later a general store. Doug also reflects on his time as a high school basketball player and later as a coach in the 70s, helping lead students to state competitions.
And that was the first time Natchez had been in the state tournament since 1951 when I was on that particular team. And right here, as a consequence of getting to state, the Natchez Lions Club presented me with a key to the city.
You can watch that full episode over on our YouTube channel right now. But that does it for us. Thank you for watching this episode of KEPR Quick. For more local news and weather, you can head over to our websites. That's KEPR and KIMATV.com, as well as our Facebook pages. But while you are here, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up with our latest mini newscasts Monday through Friday. Have a fantastic start to your work week, everybody.